One mic.
All I need is one mic.
It's just different.
One mic with Big Mike.
The overall tenor of what he's saying is very stupid.
And they say his style is too urban for the radio.
Maybe it's not racism. Maybe it's placism.
Brother has to know his place, right, Bob?
One mic with Big Mike.
Things aren't always what they seem.
A sports talk show, but no subject matter is off limit.
Don't just tell me that the reason something's being done is because that's the way it's always been done. Because the first thing I'm going to say to you is slavery.
And now, your host.
I got the big homie here who needs no introduction.
Big Mike.
All I need is one mic.
Absolutely. All you need is one mic here with you on a Friday. It's quitting time, man. Ready for the weekend. I'm being heard right now via Spreaker, SPREAKER.com. Also, Spreaker has an app, so make sure you hit your app store and download that so you can take me with you on all your mobile devices, your laptop, tablet, cell phone, what have you. Also, if you got the TuneIn app, you can hear me there as well. And on my website, One Mic with BigMike.com. Make sure you check out the Facebook live stream going on right now. Go to the Facebook page at the number one MIC, WITHBIGMIKE. Make sure you like it. You know what I'm saying? Share it with all your friends. Let them know you're here. We in the building, man. We up in here. And also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the same tag, One Mic with Big Mike, to be involved with the show today. You can text me at 404-902-8104. That's 404-902-8104. Or you can leave your comments and questions below the previously mentioned live streaming video here on Facebook, or jump on in my live interactive chat room like a couple people already have. All you got to do is be listening via Spreaker or the Spreaker app or my website. You'll see a little thought bubble icon sitting there on the streaming player. Just click that. A couple steps later, you'll be up in the building, man. You'll be ready to rock and roll. I'm going to try to get up out of here in about 90 minutes today. I'm going to try my best. I ain't trying to be here all day, all night or whatever. Get on into this weekend and have a good time with it. Shout out to I Am No Dose. My boy Big L's up in here as well, doing big things. I want you guys to know, man, I appreciate y'all holding me down every night, man. Every night that I do the show. I know I F around and call you guys jerks and D-bags, but you know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all. Seriously, man. I need to challenge y'all too, man. Like, don't just bring yourself to the party, man. Tell your people, man. I know y'all hang out and you got your folks. Tell them, come on in the chat room with us, man. Let's have some fun. Y'all can start your own show in the chat room. You know what I mean? And I'll accept the challenge of being able to still pay attention to the crap that I'm talking about while you guys are talking major craziness in the chat room. Couple things we got to get out the way today. First and foremost, 7:30, bottom of the hour. I ain't do no show, no guest this week, man. I got 2 next week, so I'll try to make up a little bit for it. I might even try to double up on a couple days, but I'm reaching out to people, getting that going. So all you heard from was me this week. Sorry. Sorry. But at the bottom of the hour, 7:30, we're going to do on this day my feature in which I give you guys some historical tidbits and factoids about the world of sports and things that happened on this particular day in history. God, I do, as I sit here and I look at my notes, I got, some meat here, some stuff to talk about, man. I didn't even talk about the homie from baseball yesterday that got popped for the steroids. 80 games for that. Ugh. Ugh. Who cares, man? It's baseball. It's too damn long. He can't participate in the postseason either. His name is Starling Marte. He's the best player on the Pittsburgh Pirates team, which I thought was Andrew McCutchen. Did not know that Andrew McCutchen had gotten slow. But this kid apparently was the best player, and no doubt steroids hurt. But wait till I tell y'all how he possibly got this positive test on some ratchet backwoods ridiculousness. What else we got here? NFL draft coming up next week. My man Alex Kaptop is going to join me on Wednesday to give us a draft preview, and then we'll get a first round wrap up and reaction with my man Ben Troop from Florida Gators past and from Tennessee Titans past. We'll get some insight on what it is to be drafted into the NFL from him on next Friday. Don't forget about Big Mike's Brims. The Hawks, it don't look like they're gonna win no damn games. No, I ain't gonna say that. They coming home, so they got a chance to tie the series up if they can get the 2 at the crib. But for at least the next 2 games, I got you, man. As you can see, for every show this week, I've been rocking me a brand new, not a brand new, but my own Atlanta Hawks hats made by Mitchell & Ness or New Era. And I got a couple that's brand new for you guys as well. All you got to do is be following me on Twitter, Instagram, like my Facebook page. Send me a direct message that says Big Mike, hashtag Big Mike's Brims, BIGMIKESBRIMS. You can also go to my website, go to the contact page, send me a message from there. Same thing, just put Big Mike's Brims in the subject line during the game. I think the next game for the Hawks is on Saturday. So on Saturday, I'll pick another name out, put some postage on a box, and I'll get it right out there to you guys. So in the time between I last spoke to you guys and now, I've had a few games take place. The Hawks, like I just mentioned, got it pushed in again. Not all the way, just a tip by the Wizards on Wednesday. The Trailblazers, now they got it pushed in all the way. Balls too. By the Warriors without Kevin Durant. And then there was that thing that happened in Houston with the Rockets and the Thunder. Russ Westbrook, like the narrative is going to change a little bit with him. And I think I warned you guys about this when the playoffs started for a couple of dudes, because for most people, right, you get introduced to certain people during the playoffs, like you get introduced to Giannis Antetokounmpo officially, and you're going to get reintroduced to Russell Westbrook. And the thing that I've been telling you guys for the last, few weeks, that he's not different this year. Like, if you think Russ is awesome this year and you didn't think that last year, that's a you thing. That dude is doing the same thing he did last year, the year before that as well. He's that player. But the problem is, you get caught up with the narrative of the triple-double. You see all the highlights on SportsCenter, because I know a lot of you ain't staying up late to watch Oklahoma City basketball, no matter who's playing point guard, no matter what the chances of a triple-double are. But now it's the playoffs, and more people are zoomed in and focused in because you got one game at a time. Like, certain games may overlap a little bit, but for the most part, you got one game at a time. And now you get to see that girl that you met on, Tinder. You get to see her up close and personal now and realize that she had like 1.5 million filters on her situation on the picture she posted, and now it's a different bride. You think it's a different bride, but it's not. It's the same chick. She was just able to be dressed up and dolled up before. Russ is who he is, man. Russ is that dude that's going to wow you, and he's going to wow you. He's going to like, wow, that was amazing. And like, wow, that was so stupid. Same guy doing the same things, and that's who he's always been. So on Wednesday, my man got 50 points, bust out another triple-double. But really, the story of that game is two things. That after the game's over, Mike D'Antoni, the coach of the Rockets, was like, "Yep, we're good. That's exactly what we wanted. As long as he's doing that and doing it inefficiently, we believe we'll win." And that being shooting 18 shots in one quarter. That quarter being the fourth quarter, when his team was leading the ball game. And this is after he started panicking. It feels like after the Rockets came back. And not only did he take 18 shots, he missed 14 of them. If you want to put that into historical context, no one before him has missed more than 10 shots in a playoff quarter ever. And this is what we're talking about right now. So for take that whatever you want to take it with. Because the MVP voting is over. You know what I'm saying? It's all said and done. But the reality is that that's who this guy is. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. Big L's in the chat room. He says next year is going to be Westbrook's last year in OKC. I actually tweeted that. And I said the only reason, Big L, that he'll stay is because this new CBA got the money so crazy for dudes that stay. That's going to be the only reason you see a guy like Paul George stay in Indiana, to be punished more and more and more, because it could end up being, in a lot of cases, somewhere between like $30 and $45 million difference in you staying with the team that drafted you, i.e. Russ Westbrook, i.e. Paul George, i.e. Jimmy Butler, staying there and finding yourself probably in like a Carmelo Anthony situation where, like, you rich as hell. I ain't talking about the cheating. I'm talking about the money and the basketball. Where you rich as hell, but the team around you is dog crap. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be real interesting to see what Russ does, especially after these folks then retired jerseys and retired his jersey, and and then propped him up to be Michael Jordan and came out and said the man is impressive because of how dedicated and loyal he is and all that. Look, man, ain't no damn loyalty when when you're that guy on this team. And what did Victor Oladipo shoot? One of something? Yeah, he's probably good. You got a dude on the floor that can't shoot at all. Like, he celebrates every time. Rob Robertson, every time he hits a three, it's a celebration. Yeah, this is not the 90s basketball. In the 90s, guess what you could do? You could play 4-on-5 basketball, especially if you had a special player. The Bulls did it all the time. What the hell you think Dennis Rodman was? No one guarded Dennis Rodman at all. He was a rebounder and a defender, period. So on offense, you played 4-on-5. The difference was 2 of your 4 were 2 of the best players in NBA history. That's where we're kind of at with that. But in today's NBA, yeah, these dudes are pedestrian. Guys like Charles Oakley, these goons that didn't really have a lot of basketball skill. Yeah, they're pedestrian. Moving on to yesterday's games. Speaking of guys that are pedestrian and that the games passed by, Dwight Howard is one of them. And I've been saying this for years. Like, everybody's like, during the offseason, everybody got all excited. Dwight's coming home. And I'm like, he's going to spoil everything that was here, man. And I'm not blaming him, but the game just isn't friendly to he's not a 7-footer. He's more around 6'10", but a big guy who has no legit post moves at all. That's only a rim runner that thinks he's more than that, and a lob catcher. I give you DeAndre Jordan. You know what I'm saying? The only difference between Dwight and DeAndre, other than the physical size, is that DeAndre understands who he is. He realizes exactly that that's what he is. Nothing more, nothing less. Dwight wants to be more than that. And as you saw the other night, Bud had his ass on the bench for the whole fourth quarter. Your $70 million dude is on the bench for the whole fourth quarter, man. 6 points. And this is going to sound real crazy and funny. Well, maybe not anymore. But I used to tell people that the key to that Budenholzer offense was Kyle Korver. Like, Kyle Korver was the guy who made other teams make mistakes on defense because he's running off of so many screens. He's making you have to communicate on defense. When to switch, when to not. And that's when the Hawks would get all those easy, uncontested layups. Dudes like Jeff Teague would get open jump shots because everybody's trying to follow and find out where Kyle Korver is when all these screens are happening, these natural screens that they're getting because of the movement. Now you got a big plotting dude in the middle of the basketball court. There is no movement. I saw a play earlier this year where I think everybody on the team, on the Hawks team, touched the ball on one possession. It was like 3 times. Dwight Howard was on the court. He didn't touch the ball once. They're just swinging around the perimeter. He's moving from side to side in the lane. He doesn't touch it one time. It was like a million passes in one possession. They ended up scoring on the possession. But he didn't touch the ball not one time. That right there further cements the thought process that I have that he doesn't fit. And I don't know necessarily where he fits, especially when you're talking about a winning ball club. Like, here's the question. You guys are in the chat room. Reg, what up, Reg? I am No-Dos. I ain't checked the Facebook yet. But if right now, based on what's going on right now in the playoffs, if I was to give you JaVale McGee or Dwight Howard, who would you take? Right this very, very second, based on what you know throughout the season and so far in the playoffs. Who would you take as your 5? JaVale McGee, a true 7-footer, who once again understands what he's there for, man. You're going to catch lobs, you're going to rebound, you're going to protect my rim from me, and it's going to be all good. I would agree with that. Big L saying Dwight Howard's not as good as DeAndre Jordan. And I think that just comes from what I just mentioned earlier. Dwight Howard think he's somebody else. He's always thought he was somebody else. You know what I mean? He got kind of spoiled with that Magic team that he took to the finals, which was, that was an accomplishment, no doubt. But then he felt like teams needed to be built like that. The big guy in the middle with like shooters around them. Nope. Give me my shooters with the ball in their hands. Give me my James Harden. I'm saying, give me my Steph Currys and my Kevin Durant's. Give me that. Give me my John Walls. I don't need no Dwight Howard. Like, if I'm gonna get a big, I'm gonna get, like I said, I'm gonna get JaVale McGee. I'm gonna get Martin Gortat. One of these cats, you know what I mean? I'm gonna get one of these dudes that don't have a superstar complex. Dwight Howard's been made to think he was a superstar. You know what I mean? If you heard him a couple of weeks ago, he said he's definitely a Hall of Famer. And maybe he is because it's basketball, but that don't really like. I heard, and somebody explained this to me the other day, or not the other day, a while back, that in the NBA you got to kind of break the Hall of Fame down into a couple of tiers. Like you got your Hall of Famers, you got your Charles Barkley Hall of Famers, and your Karl Malone Hall of Famers, but then you got your top tier guys. You got your Michael Jordans, and you got your Hakeem Olajuwons, those guys, those multiple championship having guys, those Larry Bird type dudes, those Magic Johnsons. And then you have the guys that are below that, the Dennis Rodmans of the world, the Tracy McGrady's, you know what I'm saying? They're like different tiers to that. Like Vince Carter's going to end up in a damn Hall of Fame because he played so damn long. I've been hearing lately people mentioning Joe Johnson's name as a Hall of Famer. And I can't really argue about it. I mean, hell, it's basketball. Everybody gets in. It seems like. It's like everybody who want to be in gets in. It's a party. So yesterday, the Cavs, holy look, dude. So I'm watching this Cavs Pacers situation, and you guys know I always talk to you about I will not watch bad basketball or bad sports at all. That's not really my bag. So around halftime, the lead is 26 points. I say to myself, man, I got a bunch of stuff to catch up on DVR, a bunch of shows, man, Underground, Fargo, a bunch of stuff is on my DVR to get caught up on. But I say no. Fight the urge, Mike. Because you of all people have said it many a times, I do not bet against LeBron James. I do not think LeBron James is going to win the championship this year, but I would not put no money on it. No. And last night, my bet would have been true. My non-bet. I kept the game on. And the next thing I know, LeBron is going crazy from three-point land. The Pacers can't buy a shot. This is after Lance Stephenson is going crazy in the first half. Paul George is doing his thing in the second quarter. Lance is talking to the crowd, talking about this is our house. Next thing I know, LeBron James hitting 30-foot threes and turning around smiling at people in the crowd. Yeah, that was a sign. That was like a death smile. Yeah, I'm about to slit your throat, cuz, and it's gonna be blood everywhere. And it was, man. It was. Them damn Cavs came back. And if they didn't take the hearts of the Pacers in the first game where they had an opportunity to take that 1-0 lead, they've definitely taken it now. Like to the point where you got Jeff Teague saying, I know we ain't going to get swept. Like that's the goal, cuz. Like just go ahead and get swept, cuz. Just go ahead and just do it now. If that's all we talking about. Look, it's tough, man, but you get to, like in the playoffs, but you get to see illuminated so brightly the difference between good, very good, and great. You know what I'm saying? And what you saw last night was a team that played above their potential in the first half. And then you saw a team who went out their way to embarrass these cats even more, because in the fourth quarter, you know who wasn't there when you start talking about the big three in Cleveland? Two of them, Kyrie and Kevin Love, were on the pine, cuz, for the whole fourth quarter. Channing Frye's hitting big threes at the end. Tristan Thompson's going crazy in the lane after getting banged on in the first quarter. Yeah, man. Whatever, man. Like that Pacers thing, they better be glad that CBA is what it is. Because a guy like Paul George could do some crazy work. You understand? And somewhere like Boston can do ridiculous work. Now, I wonder how it works, too. If he could pull off a sign and trade, you know what I'm saying? Like get his money from the Pacers, but still end up, with Boston getting off like 3 or 4 of them draft picks for a guy that they need right now in the series that they're in. That trotting one dude out there against 5, and that one dude being 5'10", not a good look. So the Raptors got it pushed in as well, so far in. Yeah, against the Bucks. That kid, man, like I told you guys before the playoffs started, man, you're gonna get to see something special. And I didn't realize it was gonna be this. I said you're gonna get to see something special in Milwaukee. I felt like they was going to lose the series, but you're going to get to see a kid on his way up, a 22-year-old kid that's ridiculously physically talented. Don't even really have a great grasp of the game of basketball yet, and no one knows what to do with his ass. Apparently, he's going to go out and go work with Dirk Nowitzki, shooting coach this summer. So I'm just here to tell you the game's over. Like, once that becomes a thing, once that guy stretches his game to 3-point land, sorry, NBA, it's over. Like, we're going to see LeBron gradually decline. And while he's doing that, this 22-year-old kid is going to be taking over the world, because it's the One Mic with Big Mike show. If you're just not tuning in, Friday here on Spreaker, SPREAKER.com. Sign up for your free Spreaker accounts too, by the way, guys and girls. Also download the Spreaker app for your mobile devices so you can take me with you. And if you got the TuneIn app, you can catch me live there, and my website, OneMicWithBigMike.com, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7 p.m. sharp. Follow me on, like my Facebook page where I'm streaming live video at right now, One Mic with Big Mike, and make sure you like me on Twitter and Instagram, same handle. What are these D-bags talking about in here? I saw somebody said something about Dwight Howard is better than Shaq and the Fool any day of the week, and I want the better player. That's not a true statement. Now, and here's the other thing too. Even if someone is better but they're not playing better, what does that even mean? You know what I'm saying? If you can be more talented, and I'm not even sure that's the case. Like, JaVale McGee is a physically talented individual. He's long and athletic as hell. Runs the floor well, blocks shots. He does all the same things that Dwight Howard does. Dwight gets more minutes than him, and he has a name, and JaVale has been a journeyman for the greater parts of his career. But now, in this year, and in these playoffs, if you still want to rock with Dwight Howard, fine. I saw an article today asking the question, should Bud just go ahead and sit his ass down? All $70 million worth of them for the entire first round. Because he don't have a place on the basketball court. Usually in the playoffs, your big men have a spot because everything kind of slows down. You got to play half court basketball. Your big men have a bigger input. Yeah, not with John Wall on the court. The ball's coming out off the rim into his hands and down the court in a blink of an eye. He gives a damn about your half court offense theory. And that's why Dwight Howard that's why he had to sit down the other night. I guess in a minute I should give you guys the schedule for the night as well, because I'm watching Boston and Chicago getting on right now. Boston's up. Rajon Rondo's out, man, with a broken thumb, so that sucks for them. But it's a cautionary tale, man. Like, play ball. Don't wait to become playoff Rondo and all these things, because you don't know what's going to happen. You're playing the best ball of the year right now if you're Rajon Rondo, of course, because you need money next year. You want to get picked up and you want to get signed instead of all these one-year deals. You want somebody to substantiate you with a longer-term deal. Now you hurt. And your team is down early. It's early, 16-10. At the crib. That's the thing that's going to mess with the Celtics too, man. The fact that they lost those 2 games at home. Moving on real quick, the Spurs. I'm gonna say it this way: the Spurs gave one to the Grizzlies last night. You know what I mean? With Pop sitting them boys now, his starters down as early as he did on some I'm punishing you type stuff. It feels like Pop just gave them cats the game. You know what I mean? There ain't really no other way to slice that. The Grizzlies, they got 20, 20, and 20 from Z-Bo and Gasol and then Mike Conley. They got 60 from those cats, but still, it's the Grizz and the Spurs. It's 2-7. You feel me? So that might be the last game they win. I'm sure Pop probably got his message through to the guys, Kawhi and them cats, and Tony Parker and LaMarcus Aldridge and them kids. So this could be the last hurrah for the Spurs, for the Grizzlies. Excuse me. Now tonight. Of course, right now, I've already mentioned Celtics are going at it. Isaiah Thomas is there. I believe he's there. He went and hung out with his family for a minute, and I think Isaiah Thomas is playing in the game. Like I mentioned, Rajon Rondo isn't, so that means a bigger load for guys like Harvey Grant's boy. What's the other kid's name? The other kid that's been playing well for them. Of course, Jimmy Butler and Dwayne Wade. Coming up next, 9:30, got the Rockets and the Thunder again, so we get to see how Russ bounces back in this game 3. They need this to even have a prayer in the series. Then you got the Clippers and Jazz, a very good series so far, 1-1. They're going back to Utah. I still think Gobert, they're big, Rudy Gobert. I still think that leg is gonna keep him out of this game. So Gordon Hayward's got to pick up his crap. I'm saying they got Joe Johnson, Shelvin Mack, and cats like that. So that's what's happening tonight in the NBA. Moving right along here because, like I said, trying to burn rubber, Get up out of here. Let's go back to the chat room real quick. Put D Howard in the Golden State Warriors, and I don't know what that means in Atlanta. Oh, what is SAF? Oh, see, that's that foul stuff. You calling this man Shaq a fool? Stop that. That's ridiculously childish. JaVale McGee in Atlanta. You not be saying the same thing, but yeah, I'm saying it because that's not the case. I'm talking about as is right now. You know what I mean? And I don't know that Dwight Howard would be better in Oklahoma City. I'd make the case that he'd be worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dwight's not a mover. Look, I always invite people, man, to watch the games. Like, forget about the name of the guy because you think you know who he is. Watch those games, man. Watch those Atlanta Hawks games and watch when Dwight Howard's on the court. The only reason I could say that he might be better in Oklahoma City is because they do more in the way of spacing. Like, you don't have Dwight and Paul Millsap in the lane at the same time, and really that doesn't work. That's why you saw last year Al Horford shot so many threes last year. It was ridiculous. But they had better spacing in the year before that when they had better spacing. Now everything's so log jam. There's not a lot of movement. There's a whole lot of one-on-one play. That's not Coach Bud basketball at all. It don't even look good. It don't look good, and it don't produce anything. Sorry, I had a frog in my throat there. He got to like he still got to lead everything off with Negro. Now, I wasn't talking about GSW. I was talking about the SAF part when you was calling. I'm assuming the SAF was Shaq the Fool is what you're calling JaVale McGee. I know what GSW stands for, Negro. Damn you. I gotta tell you guys on the other side of the break what happened yesterday. It was mad funny and crazy. I did something that I didn't think that I did until I realized I was doing it. I trolled somebody. I trolled a couple of people yesterday. You guys remember on Wednesday, did a lot of talking about Aaron Hernandez or whatever. So after the show, I saw this video, and I don't know what movie it came from, but it was crazy funny. It was at a funeral, and some dude was like over the casket of the dude, and he was cussing the cat out. And I reposted the video, but I recaptioned it, and I said, this is me at Aaron Hernandez's funeral. And here's the audio from it. Let's see if you can get the gist from the audio. And I'll pick up the conversation, tell you guys everything that happened in the next segment. Sorry.
Honestly, man, you could eat a whole dick, nigga. Fuck out of here, man. You was faking the hood, nigga. No, like that.
That last part that's people pulling my man back off of the casket. He's trying to like kick the dude in the casket and everything. So crazy thing is, apparently 2 of Aaron Hernandez's kinfolk saw the post, and they didn't even see it on the One Mic with Big Mike Instagram. They saw it on my old Sports Kings Instagram. Like, we keep that open, me and Rob, and we still use it to post our stuff there from our individual stuff. So they saw it there, and it turned into a whole day's affair. It was pretty entertaining too, like people threatening me, coming to see me and putting hands on me, and this whole situation that people do on social media because I'm not letting them grieve. And I guess it was some bad guy stuff, you know what I mean? But whatever. I mean, not my problem is the way I look at it. So, in closing, I'll tell you this. Not closing, because I'm going to tell you guys in detail what happened. Because there's some developments in this whole Aaron Hernandez thing that I want to discuss as well. So what I did was, I was like, okay, so since they're extra mad about that, I think I'll stop. Actually, no. Of course I'm not going to stop. I'm going to try to find a way to go like a step further. So then I found this.
Now, Ron, where are you? Where is Ron right now?
Ron.
No Ron, huh? Well, you better be sick, dead, or mute, Ron.
and then I put the caption for that. Well, he's not sick or mute. Yeah, dude, like I find it real easy to not care about people who don't care about other people, dude. I mean, like, and no amount of your suffering or anyone else's suffering You know what I mean? Can make me care. You blaming the wrong person. Blame the murdering dude. Blame the suicide dude. That's the reason you mourning. You ain't mourning because I'm picking fun at it. I don't know you. You don't know me. But we'll pick it up. We'll pick it up more. And you guys can tell me too. I won't listen, but you guys can tell me if you think I went too far. Because it got like real crazy and real like, you could tell like folks was upset, but that only fuels my fire when things like that come about. So anyway, we'll take a break, come back, do On This Day, and I'll finish up this conversation and give you guys the update on what's happening with the whole Aaron Hernandez suicide situation. It's the One Mic with Big Mike show. Spreaker.com is where I'm being heard, also on the app. And tune in, and of course, OneMicWithBigMike.com, and streaming live video here on Facebook at One Mic with Big Mike.
I have one question for you.
Do you or someone you know run a business that could benefit from additional exposure? The One Mic with Big Mike show is currently taking on new sponsors and advertisers. One Mic with Big Mike is currently syndicated across 8 different online platforms, and your company's name could be heard and seen across all 8 as well.
Let's get to work.
Please send all inquiries to Mike at OneMicWithBigMike.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support.
All I need is one mic.
Dear John, I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but you've left me no choice. I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is really serious, and lately you seem to really not care. I've been there for you since day one, and I know you think I'm gonna keep ticking, but no, my friend, I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to the good times, when we were more active and ate more healthy foods, and you checked on me every once in a while? Is that too much to ask? I don't want to leave, but unless you stop ignoring me, what else am I supposed to do? Remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart and don't let it quit on you. Doing the minimum to control your high blood pressure isn't doing enough. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get your blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late. For help keeping yours at a healthy range, text PRESSURE to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
And now, back to One Mic.
What are we waiting for? Let's get to it.
With Big Mike.
No doubt. Trying to smooth this thing out for the weekend. No doubt. Quitting time. Welcome back to the One Mic with Big Mike show. Don't forget, if you missed any portion of the show, if you missed any shows that I've done in the last year and a half, you can always catch them on demand on Spreaker, or download the Spreaker app for your mobile devices, on the TuneIn app, of course, on my website, OneMicWithBigMike.com. Also, speaking of my website, I'm a brand affiliate now for Nike and Adidas. So if you guys looking for your Nikes and your Adidas and all that kind of stuff, man, go to OneMicWithBigMike.com. Just click the Nike link or the Adidas link and get them from there. I guess they break me off for a percentage of the people who order their sneakers from my website. So, hook a brother up. Also, you can catch the show on demand on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and YouTube as well. Well, also make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at One Mic with Big Mike. Like the Facebook page, same handle. And if you want to be involved in the show, text me at 404-902-8104. Jump inside my live interactive chat room by clicking that little thought bubble icon you see on Spreaker or my website. Or leave your comments and questions right below the live streaming video on Facebook. I want to introduce you guys to Madhaparthi Yamshi Krishna. You say, who? I'm about to tell you. This guy was arrested for sending an email to the Mumbai police that claimed there were 23 terrorists attempting to hijack planes in the Indian cities of Hyderabad, Chennai, and Mumbai. In the email, which was sent by a woman, it said she overheard 6 Muslim men plotting the hijacking. Oh my God, this sounds terrible. After receiving the email, the Mumbai police alerted security agencies, which resulted in beefed up security at 3 airports. Investigators were able to narrow down the sender of the email down to 8 people after they traced the IP address to an internet cafe. They then received CCTV footage from the area and came to the conclusion that Madhaparthi sent the email. So my man confessed during the questioning. He told the police he had he had an online girlfriend in Chennai who wanted to take their relationship to the next level and had proposed a trip to Mumbai or Goa. The problem was he didn't have enough money. And despite mentioning this to her, she really wanted to go. So Krishna, a travel agent, is that still a job? Do people still use travel agents? Like, you can go online, can't you, and just get the best deal from Travelocity or somewhere? People still have travel agents? Anyway, he's in India. Maybe they have him over there. So Krishna, a travel agent, came up with the plan. He created a fake ticket for his from Chennai to Mumbai for his girlfriend. After sending her the ticket, he created a fake email address and sent the hoax email to the police. My God, is it that serious? Golly, she must have that ill nana. Krishna was arrested on 4 charges, including impersonation of and providing false information. He now faces up to 5 years in prison and a fine of $150. There have been at least 3 occasions of dudes calling in bomb threats at airports to stop their wives or girlfriends from flying. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop that foolishness, man. Be honest with your woman. I mean, like, in that case, when it comes down to either disappointing her or doing 5 years in the pokey, yeah, Ma, you're just gonna have to be totally disappointed, possibly break up with me, but that's cool. I won't have to deal with the booty warrior.
Now, let's take a look back. On this day.
All right, the last one for the week, and it's shout too. Mad shout. On this day in 1970, sportscaster Kurt Gowdy became the first sports broadcaster to receive the George Foster Peabody Award for achievement in radio and television. On this day in 1980, Rosie Ruiz won the Boston Marathon when she crossed the finish line in a record time of 2 hours and 31 minutes and 56 seconds. After an investigation, she was stripped of the honor when evidence showed that she had not run the entire race. Somebody hopped the damn cab or something. Got on some roller skates or something. Finally, on this day in 2008, in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, a riot following the Montreal Canadiens' Game 7 win over the Boston Bruins breaks out in St. Catherine Street West, resulting in 16 police cruisers, in English, police cruisers, torched, a dozen stores vandalized, and 16 arrests. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your final episode or final edition of On This Day for the Week. Yeah, Celtics are pushing it all the way in. Maybe Rondo made that much of a difference, huh? Pushing it all the way in on the Bulls tonight. Anyway, so before the break, I was telling you guys about this weird thing that happened yesterday, following my disdain for one Aaron Hernandez. It's so crazy to me how people feel like I should be worried about his daughter. Why? I didn't birth her. I wasn't the dad that committed a crime, not of passion, just of trying to be hard and being a thug. You know, the things that you shouldn't do when you care about your family and you don't want to go to jail and leave them and possibly end up committing suicide. All those things. I didn't do them. You know, I'm here for my folks. But I digress. So I played you guys the clips before the break on what set all this off. And it was just this weird thing about me being disrespectful. And that's my cousin. And here's the surprising part. The thing that surprised me most about it, to be honest with you, I didn't think that his people thought he didn't do it. You know what I mean? I just thought it was one of those things where they felt like it wasn't enough evidence or the case wasn't proven all the way. Like, folks think that this is some sort of conspiracy against Aaron Hernandez of all people. Like, all you doing is listen to what the media is telling you. Kind of, but to that I responded, okay, since you apparently know more than I do, why didn't you help the situation out by telling the police who really killed Odin Lloyd? Oh, okay. Yeah, the response was, well, I don't know either. I just know that he's been my cousin for 18 years and he didn't do it. You know what? Case closed. Investigation over. Yeah, he's her cousin. He couldn't have done it then. Yeah, you know why that happens? Is what I'm always talking about, man. People think they should go like so hard for people because they family. Let me tell you something, dude. If my dad went on a killing spree, right, and it was like insurmountable evidence against him, yeah, Dad, you're screwed, B. Not coming to no damn courtroom. And don't expect no visitors on commissary either, cuz. You know what I'm saying? By you doing that, You was a traitor to us. Ain't no more loyalty, cuz. And that's my pops. Much less some other random cat that I don't know, and of course now we'll never know. Fortunately for me. So that was the girl cousin. The boy cousin stepped up and was like, yeah, man, you real hard on this social media. I was like, hard? Like, I'm the one laughing. Like, you the one threatening to come see about me. Let's see how you do it in real life. And then he did the ultimate. He talked about my mama. He was like, you out here talking about stuff you don't know about my cousin. What if I said your mama was slobbing me down? I was like, go ahead, my G. It's all good. I'm not in the 5th grade, my guy. You know what I mean? You're not going to get me, like, I'm not going to get riled up over some strange dude saying, you know, your mama did this thing to me. All right, cool. You know what I mean? She's an old lady. And if that's your thing, knock yourself out, B. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to say to that crazy stupidness. But I thought that was like crazy funny yesterday that I didn't intend for that to happen. I saw the video. I thought it was funny. You know what I mean? I captioned it with whatever I thought was appropriate. And hella people seen it, though. Got hella views and comments, so that was cool. And then it was that. You know, that's so disrespectful. Can't disrespect somebody who ain't done nothing but disrespect themselves. And also disrespected everybody who supposedly now is supporting them and loves them and all that kind of stuff. He disrespected y'all. The only thing that's keeping y'all afloat, these people afloat, is the fact that in some weird way, they found themselves convinced that he didn't kill that guy. That he didn't kill Odin Lloyd. You know what I'm saying? And like, if I'm looking at it from that aspect, if I got a family member that I think is in jail wrongly and someone else was the perpetrator, I'm going to pour as many resources as I can into finding the real dude or the real girl, or whoever did it to this guy. That didn't happen. It's just like your word is trying to convince me that this dude ain't a murderer. All right, cool, whatever. Did y'all see his mom's, Odin Lloyd's mom on TV today? You know what I'm saying? Finally, 2 days later. You know what I'm saying? People just realize like, oh yeah, that victim guy that we keep calling a victim, he actually has a name. He had people that loved him. You know what I mean? He didn't make a choice to leave this earth. Somebody made it for him. The person that no one seems to care about. So anyway, let me give you guys the update on what's going on with that in case you haven't kept abreast of it. So his family, they're having like a situation between them and the medical examiner for the medical examiner for the jail of getting Aaron Hernandez's brain. They want to get it tested for CTE. Somebody just texted me like, hey, you there? How's that a thing? Okay, watch this. Yep. So there's a battle going on, or about to start. They want the brain to send it to Boston to get it checked out for CTE. And that's part of a money grab as well. You know what I mean? And also, it's kind of funny. I don't know if they want his brain to see if that's why he committed himself or committed suicide, I'm sorry. Or they want his brain to see if that led him to murder this guy. But I'm thinking to myself, it couldn't be that because you're convinced that he didn't do it, that he didn't murder anybody. But they want the brain examined for CTE because apparently, I guess maybe they think they can get some money out of it. But I don't think he qualifies. I don't think he's a part of the group of guys because he's a part of the current players. I don't think he can get into that concussion settlement. Maybe they can sue separately or whatever, but I don't know. But that's going on with that. Apparently, I read an article that said he planned his suicide for weeks. They're finding evidence of him, planning the suicide for weeks. And now everybody's like, well, how can no one know this was coming? Do you ever know when someone's about to kill their damn self? You know what I'm saying? It's like after the fact, everybody wants to say, oh, man, I should have saw it coming. How did I see that? Well, apparently Aaron Hernandez was giving away all his stuff in jail to the other prisoners or whatever. They found a bunch of handwritten notes now, kind of suicide notes that he wrote that was in the Bible, and apparently he had what does John 3:16 say? I forget. It's been a while for the kid, but he had John 3:16, not to be confused with Austin 3:16. What is Austin 3:16? I'll whoop your ass. Is that what Austin 3:16 is for my wrestling fans out there? But yeah, he apparently wrote a bunch of notes suicide notes. They talked about how he rigged the cell. Remember yesterday I was talking about how, like, when you hang yourself, that there has to be a time, like a portion of that time before you actually expire, that you like, damn, like, why the hell I do this, man? I wish I can get out of this now. This is painful. Well, apparently they say he did a couple things. He jammed the tracks. You know how the cell doors, they slide, right? They slide left and right. He put cardboard in the tracks to jam them so they couldn't open them up. And then he put soap all over the floor, like just in case he changed his mind while he was getting hung, so he couldn't get his footing and he would just die anyway. Like, that's a shout out to him. That's a commitment to death, dude. Like, a lot of people like wouldn't think that far ahead, because some people, you know, they do that whole I'm gonna kill myself thing for attention and whatnot. Like the cats you see threaten to jump off the overpass, and all they doing is end up effing up traffic for hours after work. Those cats. Well, apparently my man had the plan all out, and he didn't. He went through with it, but his family still don't believe it. They still believe there's some nefarious stuff going on. His old lady is suing to make sure they don't get rid of any of the tapes or anything that may show what happened. They're wondering why nobody was checking on him. The guard didn't come by and check on him in a certain amount of time. Like, all the conspiracy theory stuff is out there, and people think they smarter than, like, who cares? He gone. Who cares? You know what I mean? I guess his fam should care, because they think he didn't do it. But from what it looks like, it's gonna cause like a domino effect to a whole lot of other things. I saw this thing on TV, on social media. I'm sorry, that was talking about him killing himself. And I told you guys part of this on Monday. By him killing himself during the appeal of the original, Odin Lloyd murder, by Massachusetts law, it makes it as though nothing had ever happened before this. You know what I mean? So essentially, he never killed Odin Lloyd. He was never arrested. He was never on trial. None of those things ever happened because he killed himself. And what they're saying is that was, they're looking, a lot of people are connecting the dots, saying that's the reason. So the Patriots would have to pay his family and his baby a lot of money. And like dudes are seriously talking about, are acting like that's some sort of a noble gesture. That's real man stuff right there. You got to provide any way possible. But one way could have just been to keep playing football and not being a thug, not killing people. That would have been one pretty easy way to accomplish the same goal without you hanging yourself in a jail cell. But hey, to each his own, whatever, right? Before what I understand, it's not $15 million like you're probably seeing on the internet. It may be closer to $6 million, but problem with that is there's some civil suits out there that's going to have to obviously be refiled and unfiled or closed or dropped against him, and then refiled going after his estate. And I saw his mom on TV. I guess she's trying to get the Patriots to pay her, because they've already won a civil case against him. And what they're trying to do now is just, they were in the process of figuring out damages. So what she's saying is that if the Patriots have to pay money to somebody, it should go to her, because the wrongful death suit has already been won. So as you can see, it's not as easy as, okay, I'm dead now. I never committed this murder. Hook my old lady up and my baby girl so they can live a good life. Nope, ain't that simple. Because somebody's still dead, and the reality is you were responsible for it. Regardless if you have to start the process over with, it's about being responsible. See OJ. You know what I mean? OJ found not guilty, criminal court with Ron and, what was his name? Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson. Found his ass in civil court against the Simpsons and the Brown family, and they beat him and got all his stuff, except for, I think, his pension, right? Shout out to Andrew Fagan checking me out here on the old Facebook stream. Where was I? Aaron Hernandez. So, I guess the one thing that I was surprised it took this long for the CTE stuff to come out, because I tweeted it yesterday at One Mic with Big Mike. I tweeted it yesterday that I was surprised that no one's come up with the whole, like, maybe he has CTE and he went crazy. I was waiting for that, and I didn't get it till today when I read the article about his family trying to get the brain, because there's money out there to be had. And I think because they're not a part of the original lawsuit, they can still sue the NFL individually, because I think that was the issue with some of the families not joining the class action. The problem with that is just too much money. You know what I mean? Just like with his fiance suing the DOC because this lawyer, Jose Baez, has convinced them that it was some nefarious stuff going on, and that they're going to investigate fully. His firm is, and all that's doing, man. Whatever money that these people got, they're gonna keep pouring it down the hole, man. Because, like, what you think you gonna find, man? You know what I mean, like, what, like, you may find some sort of negligence that they didn't walk past the cell in the right amount of time or whatever stuff I was hearing today. But in all actuality, my man, like, rigged the door shut. He put soap all over the ground. They saying, well, how come they didn't find these suicide notes initially? Because that's how it works. All evidence gets found immediately after the crime is committed. Nah, they said it was in the Bible, and they looked in the Bible and they saw the notes. You know what I mean? Handwritten notes by him. So unless somebody held a gun to his head and said, write these suicide notes, the best they can do is like, this ain't his handwriting. I guess that's the best they can do. Anyway, what time is it? Okay, we got a couple minutes left in this segment, and I got a couple things I want to talk about. I remember me telling you guys about Eli Manning and those supposed game used memorabilia that he was putting out, and they had an email with him saying, you know, just get me something that could pass for game use. And the equipment guy, he acquiesced and hooked him up, right? Well, apparently Eli's pissed off. Eli said he didn't do it. And I don't know how, like, people love to say, well, it's been taken out of context. I don't know how you take that email out. He even signed it at the end, Eli. I mean, he's like, give me something that could pass. I'm paraphrasing. Give me something that could pass for game use, comma, Eli. Like, I don't know how that's defensible, but here's Eli denying the allegations.
I will say that I've never done what I've been accused of doing. I have no reason, nor have I ever had any reason to do anything of that nature. I've done nothing wrong, and I have nothing to hide. And I know that when this is all done, everybody will see it the same way. Again, I can't answer any questions, but if you have anything about the upcoming season,
watch him answer questions. Watch this.
To be portrayed this way?
Definitely. It's one thing to write about my football or my play when you're attacking my integrity. Definitely makes me angry.
When they talk about integrity, do you take that personally, Eli?
No, 100%. You know, this is, I think, my track record of how I've handled myself since I've been here in New York since 2004 speaks for itself. I've tried to do everything with class and be a stand-up citizen, and that's what I have done, and that's being attacked right now.
Whatever, dude. I mean, whatever, man. Elijah. Come on, man. You dupe people. It almost got these cats set in jail too, man, because they was getting the stuff from him and selling it to other people, and they was trying to hit these cats. They hit two of them. It was three cats. They already hit two of them with like mail fraud and fraud charges, regular fraud charges. And the one dude that pled not guilty to it is the dude that kind of traced everything back and got the emails on Eli and all this kind of stuff. That actually he was the one being duped. And he wasn't trying to dupe other people with the dupery that was placed upon him by Eli and the Giants and these people. So we'll see how this plays out. These Manning boys, they got a way of being real slick about how they get out of stuff, like Peyton with that sexual assault stuff back in the day. Apparently now the narrative has changed to where he mooned this lady when she's saying he put his nutsacks on her head. That's a little bit different. That's like two totally different things, like showing somebody your ass and actually placing your balls on their skin, on their face skin. You know what I mean? That's like a couple of different things, man. But he squirmed out of that. The HGH thing with the neck injury, got up out of that as well. And now his man passing off, you know what I'm saying, fake memorabilia to people so he can keep his stuff but still get the money. Allegedly, I guess is what you're supposed to say, but whatever, man. These cats love to walk around talking about their integrity and how pristine they are and all that. Look, man, everybody got them, man. Everybody got, bodies in the basement, dude. Like that, like anybody who has that type of persona, I don't trust them off top. People who always want people to like them and like, Eli's a picture. He's the picture of consistency and integrity. No one is. We're all human beings. We're all flawed. I heard something a long time ago. My man told me even the rightest man can fail if put in the wrong situation. Yep. No true words have ever been said, man. You know what I'm saying? What? This Negro putting SAF, plays in Golden State, up over D. Oh, he's talking about me being that Negro. Yeah, I like JaVale McGee's game better than I like Dwight Howard's game. Plain and simple. It's a much more efficient game. Anyway, I'm not going back to that with you guys. A couple more NFL things real quick, and then we'll move on. I want to actually tell you guys a couple of things. One big thing coming out the NFL. They're in a battle, a bit of a battle. Excuse me, with the DEA. Yeah, them alphabet boys. And Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick is on the Time 100 most influential people list, man. And I want to talk about how his situation has been handled and how I feel like it's been botched. But before I do that, let me get into some more of these NFL things real quick. Of course, I mentioned the draft being next week. The schedule was released yesterday. How many of you crazy MFers, you ridiculous human beings, got the schedule and was like, yup, we're going to definitely be 11-5, 12-4. I like our schedule. Why? It's freaking, no one has even been drafted. Free agency ain't over with yet. You ain't had not now training camp. But cats run around talking about how much they love their schedule. Man, they gave us an easy schedule this year. It's like you're such sheep. The NFL just puts out like cats with catnip. None of this stuff matters right now. Even next week, the draft kind of doesn't matter. But you know what's going to happen on Monday? You're going to turn on ESPN, and these cats are going to be giving people grades on drafts. Only so they can come back next year, in 2 years from now, and 3 years from now, and regrade the draft. But, it's a part of that machine, man, that keeps you coming back. You know what I mean? Keeps you coming back and smoking that bad dope. Even though it's bad, you keep coming back to it. Shout out to Jacoby Brissett, man. Jacoby Brissett went to the White House with the Patriots the other day, but homie took the opportunity, man, to shout out the real prez. You know what I'm saying? Barack Obama, who apparently is off vacation. He's back in the building, back on the block. So shout out to Barry. But yeah, Jacoby Brissett. If I can find this real quick, I can read some of what he had to say. It was mad heartfelt too, man. You guys can probably appreciate this. He starts the letter off, "Dear Big O." It's kind of disrespectful, but whatever. Put some respect on that dude's name. He said, "I want to thank you for what you have done for this country outside of politics, because honestly, I don't know enough about politics to judge what's good or bad. But when you said, 'Yes, we can,' a young man dreaming a dream from rough circumstances in Florida heard you. I used those words as motivation and saw your achievement as an opportunity and permission to work, make my dreams come true." I don't know how that's supposed to be a sentence. But anyway, now kids from my community and my future children will know that there is no dream too big. Even they could be president of the United States. As I prepare for this honor of visiting the White House, I will be there as Super Bowl champion, and I will be thinking of you, not Agent Orange. No, he didn't say that. That's me saying that. He goes on to say, "Thank you for blazing the trail, but for more than that, for leaving a paved road behind you for others to climb on." He could have said walk on. You don't really climb on roads, but I get what you're saying. And then finally, he opens with disrespect and then closes with disrespect. P.S. Holla at me to help you with that broke jump shot. God, these damn kids ain't got no respect. Yeah, we're going to see what that dream look like when the Patriots get wind to your black ass not appreciating their boy, Agent Orange, and big up in the real prez, Barack Hussein Obama. We're going to figure out your black ass up there holding on by a thread as it is. We're going to see how that work out, Mr. Third Quarterback on the roster. Anyway, we're going to come back, top of the hour. Hopefully do another 30 minutes, then get the hell out of here so I can watch some basketball and start my weekend. I got to get out here and cut this damn grass again tomorrow. Hey, who know about, I wonder if I can get some turf. Or if I go down into the Mercedes-Benz stadium, they got some extra turf I can get. I'll pull all this damn grass up and have freaking AstroTurf or whatever the hell they call it now in my yard and have no shame about it either. Anyway, I'm going to take a break. It's One Mic, Spreaker.com, Spreaker.com, the Spreaker app. Tune in, and One Mic with BigMike.com. Make sure you go to Spreaker. Sign up for your free Spreaker accounts and follow One Mic with Big Mike.
I have one question for you.
Do you or someone you know run a business that could benefit from additional exposure? The One Mic with Big Mike show is currently taking on new sponsors and advertisers. One Mic with Big Mike is currently syndicated across 8 different online platforms, and your company's name could be heard and seen across all 8 as well.
Let's get to work.
Please send all inquiries to Mike at onemicwithbigmike.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support.
All I need is one mic.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to mooch off your friends.
You gonna finish that grape? You mean the one in my mouth?
You don't need to stop buying the necessities.
What you're smelling is a natural musk.
Ew.
You don't need to be a medical test subject.
How do you feel?
Mostly okay. Sometimes, though.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman. Let's break for lunch.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
All right, deal.
Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
One Mic.
All I need is one mic.
What's the name of the show?
One Mic with Big Mike.
You know, ain't nobody getting hurt, ain't nobody, there's no crime being committed.
And they say his style is too urban for the radio.
This is real life stuff that's happened to me.
Well, you know what?
You, and you.
One Mic with Big Mike.
I like to be able to do what I want to do.
A sports talk show, but no subject matter is off limits.
Meek Mill's concert is not called the Hell Yeah, I Bang Khloe Kardashian concert.
And now, your host.
Put your hands together for the one, the only
Big Mike.
All I need is one mic.
On a Friday, man, all you need is one mic. Shout out to the homie Willie Tucker checking in on Facebook here. The One Mic with Big Mike show is heard every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday starting at 7 o'clock here on Spreaker, Spreaker.com. You can also download the Spreaker app from all your app stores to your mobile devices. Check me out on the TuneIn app. And, of course, One Mic with BigMike.com is my website. The show can be heard on demand as well on all of those platforms, as well as on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube and to the iTunes and follow me on iHeart and Stitcher and all that good stuff. Speaking of following me, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at One Mic with Big Mike, spelled the number 1 MICWITHBIGMIKE. Same thing from my Facebook, where I'm streaming live video right now. Feel free to leave your comments, questions, and concerns and criticisms below the video here on the Facebook page, One Mic with Big Mike. You can also text the show at 404-902-8104. I think I'm getting catfish right now on my text line. Somebody's texting me, do you want to make some money helping me out? That doesn't sound like anything good, does it? That doesn't sound like anything promising. Do you want to make some money helping me out? Either I've got to do something involving some dope or a murder or something of that nature. And either one of those things are out of my wheelhouse. You can also jump inside my live interactive chat room. It's wide open. Just go to Spreaker or to my website, onemicwithbigmike.com, and click that little thought bubble icon you see on the streaming player. It'll get you right up in there. Have you guys seen the story about Cyrus Kouandjio? Cat out of Alabama, plays up in Buffalo. Well, apparently, my man was found in a field, partially clothed, which leads me to believe he's out there with his balls swinging, because usually they'll say like he was shirtless if he ain't had no shirt on. So apparently my dude ain't having no pants. He was out there yelling at the police, "Shoot me!" Like, what kind of part of the game is that, man? Like, usually they don't even need permission, my guy. What are you doing? But anyway, so Kwanjo was found a short distance from the scene of an accident. Having abandoned his vehicle, he was in a field, quote, not fully clothed, after climbing an electric fence. Really, my guy? Really? And allegedly yelling, "Shoot me," at an Erie County sheriff's deputy. Kwanjo was not arrested. Another shocker. Was not arrested and was transported to a medical facility. I haven't heard the update on this, but that sounds like what them kids, like, either it was not bath salts, because bath salts make you eat somebody's face off, don't it? Feels like this is like that spice, that stuff that they like to call synthetic marijuana. Also, by the way, shout out to everybody. Happy National Drug Testing Day, the day that follows 420. I think this is actually, seriously, I think this is the day that the NFL chooses to start their drug enforcement and their testing, their random testing today, as a matter of fact. They do that, I would have to believe, on purpose, but whatever. But yeah, they call this stuff the spice stuff. They call it synthetic marijuana. And I wonder how the people who like are advocates for marijuana use, like Eugene Monroe and friend of the show, Sean Smith, like how they feel. Like, because it really is not marijuana. It doesn't have anything to do with marijuana. It's essentially, from my understanding, it's potpourri. And just because of the chemicals that they have on it, of course, it's like anything, like ammonia or you sniffing glue, is going to get you high. But anyway, it made me think back, and I don't know how many of you guys and girls saw or heard the, they started testing yesterday. They moved it back a year. Ugh. Nah, see, shout out to the homie Peter Quill. He's in the building. He's saying that's the new strategy. Just get ass naked and scream, "Shoot me," and maybe the police won't shoot. But the homie Reggie had a different thing last week about, because we was talking about those kids who got beat up by the police, but they didn't get killed. And he was like, well, maybe they just kind of backing off a little bit. Well, you know what? This may be one of the things that if you're ever looking for something to maybe credit Trump with, is maybe these damn racist MFers was just mad as hell. So mad that Barack was in the damn White House, they was like, we're going to kill as many of these damn Negroes as we possibly can. But now they got their man up in there, they got Agent Orange in there, they just like, all right, F it. They not even going to investigate us. That's what Jeff Sessions said. No more investigating police departments. Even though we know bunches of them down here in the South have been infiltrated and taken over by white supremacy, but that's another story. And I'm not making that up. You can check it out. I think it's Dothan, Alabama. Was that the place in Alabama where the whole damn police precinct was putting dope on black kids and sending them to jail? And they found out it was all white supremacists. So, yeah, the government don't feel the need to investigate those people. So the police like, all right, we just whoop your ass. It's cool. And this is a big-ass kid, too. Like, this Kwanjo kid, he's big as hell. So I'm almost tempted to believe that being in Buffalo and being that big and being a Negro, they knew that it was something. He was somebody. He was like a damn football player or something. So they was like, golly, Billy. He wants us to shoot him, Billy. But we probably can't, huh? You think he plays for somebody? Probably. And then that was the decisive measure of not killing Cyrus Kwanjo while he was on Spice. Allegedly. I'm not sure he was on Spice. But I don't know. It made me think, though, for those of you who hadn't heard the show in a while or didn't hear the last show of last year, me and the homie Rob Calloway, we kind of rekindled our previous flame of doing the Sports Kings, and we did a final Sports Kings episode in which this dude talked about his experience smoking that spice. And I went back and found it so I could play it for you guys. It's crazy funny. He's an idiot. Right. Right, Reggie. We can't kill this one. He plays for the damn football team. Anyway, here's Rob talk about smoking spice.
Dude, you don't want to smoke that spice, man. I dude, I ain't gonna lie. I did try it one time when it first came out. Yeah, I tried it.
What happened?
I ain't gonna lie. Dude, it was the wildest. I wasn't out running around nowhere, but I was on vacation, right? And I waited till that night, and I was like, look, cause if nothing else, I was just gonna go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I smoked it And, you know, I was out on the beach. I come back, I lay down, and cause I swear probably about 2 hours later, like I opened my eyes and, you know, the room was dark and all I could see was like the slit, the light coming through the bottom of the door. So I was like, oh my God, I'm in jail.
This is awesome. This word was on spice.
Dude, I thought I was in jail.
Yeah, man. Get off that spice, man. Like, I know what the quandary is, because they call it synthetic marijuana, right? So the thought process will be, okay, it'll do me the way that marijuana does me. And on top of that, the league don't test for it. But after you smoke it, you end up like Robert Kimdichie jumping out of damn plate glass windows and stupid stuff before your draft. And then you find out then this is not weed. It's not synthetic weed. It's not weed in any form. This is stuff that's made to make you kill yourself, and or in the case of my man, Cyrus Kouandjio, who I think him and his brother just became American citizens. Man, he around here messing around with Trump. Trump don't give a damn if you play for the Bills, cuz you can already tell he a Patriots fan. He'll deport your ass back to the Congo or Nigeria or wherever the hell in Africa you from, cuz you better stay off that damn spice. Get you some, just follow the rules in the NFL. You know when they're going to test you. Just don't smoke from whatever, April, whatever, until they stop the testing. And then have at it. You see Ezekiel Elliott ain't smoked no damn, ain't passed no, or failed no test. His lips black as I am, like my body. ain't no way he don't smoke. The stickiest of the icky. Sorry, guys. Thought I'd turn this off. But on the bigger and better things here in the world of the NFL. The homie, I mentioned it earlier, the homie Aaron Hernandez. That was a Freudian. Colin Kaepernick. Two different cats about two different lives. He was one of Time's most influential people. Most 100 influential people, not athletes, people in general. So, you know what I mean? Big up to him for that. And it got me to thinking, the NFL botched this totally. They botched this 100%. Like, instead of, like, when they should have been embracing the why my man was kneeling, they allowed themselves to be just mixed into the batter of the idiots who were talking about the what. Oh, look at them disrespecting our flag and our country. They allowed themselves to be mixed in there with that, when they could have done much more good than harm by just latching themselves on to Colin Kaepernick, supporting the cause that he was speaking about, instead of saying we don't give a damn about no black kids getting killed by the police. Essentially, is what I heard. We care more about charging. By the way, the military to do these fake ass patriotic things at the beginning of games, like these big ass flags and flying these damn planes ain't cheap. They not free. Those fighter jets, those real jets that go out and kill people in other countries, they got flying over damn football stadiums. We'd rather keep up that facade, and talk about some real stuff that's going on. These police killing black folks and then going on paid vacation. And now you turn around and, like most things that start off one way, Muhammad Ali, Martin Luther King was called a communist. Malcolm X was called a terrorist. As time goes by, white people decide when they're going to rewrite the history of black America. And this is just another example, and I called it. I didn't know it was going to happen this soon, but it's happening. All of a sudden now, he's one of the most influential people in the world. 100 most influential people. And the NFL missed that boat. Apparently, they didn't see it coming. They thought they would just be able to just get rid of him at the end of the season. And they might succeed in that, and everybody would forget about him. Shout out to him. Shout out to Colin Kaepernick for not allowing himself to be forgotten by, doing the things that he put out and set out before himself to do and accomplish in helping people little by little where he could to rectify a situation in a system that he felt was very flawed. The funny thing to come out of this, though, the ironic thing, I guess, not funny, but the ironic thing to come out of this, the person that's like screaming his praises is his former coach, Jim Harbaugh, and I wish I could find that freaking, here it is, the Jim Harbaugh stuff, so I can read you guys some of the stuff that Jim Harbaugh had to say about Colin Kaepernick. He said Colin Kaepernick was alone in his early protest last year when he boldly and courageously confronted perceived inequalities in our social justice system by refusing to stand for the national anthem. Okay, they need to quit calling them perceived. They're not perceived. Those people are really dead. You know what I mean? Philando Castile ain't coming back. Alton Sterling ain't coming back. Neither is Trayvon or Tamir. None of them cats ain't coming back. So it's not perceived. And the people who did these things to them, they are at home, alive and well, kicking and screaming or whatever they're doing. You know what I mean? Writing books and speaking engagements and all kind of ridiculousness, right? He goes on to say, quote, at times in our nation's history, we have been all too quick to judge and oppose our fellow Americans for exercising their First Amendment right to address things they believe unjust. That's kind of vague. Because it's not our fellow Americans. You mean fellow black Americans. We're the ones that get the asterisks beside our rights. Well, I mean, you got the right to protest, but there's better ways to do it. Like the way we want you to do it so that we feel more comfortable about it. Yeah. Go straight to hell. Gasoline draws, if you will. Thank you. He goes on to say, rather than besmirch their character, we must celebrate their act, for we cannot pioneer and invent if we are fearful of deviating from the norm, damaging our public perception, or, most important, harming our own personal interests, end quote. I'll finish reading it and give you guys my thoughts. All right. I thank Colin for all he has contributed to the game of football as an outstanding player and trusted teammate. I also applaud Colin for the courage he has demonstrated in exercising his guaranteed right of free speech. His willingness to take a position at personal cost is now part of our American story. All sounds good so far. How lucky for us all and for our country to have among our citizens someone as remarkable as Colin Kaepernick, end quote. See, I have a hard time processing this because all this sounds like is a dude who knows that he has to go sit in the living rooms of young men who look like Colin Kaepernick, not only look like him, that probably in many cases look up to him and what he's standing for, and live in neighborhoods where they see the things that he's protesting happening on a daily basis. So this seems like a well-crafted statement. It doesn't sound like it didn't feel like something that was just off the top of the dome. It sounds like something that was strategically placed. And here's why I say that. This is not me just talking out my ass saying this. This is the same dude that when the protest started, he says, Jim Harbaugh's quote was, "I acknowledge his right to do that, but I don't respect the motivation or the action." I don't respect the motivation. His motivation was, look, people, black kids are getting killed in the street by the police and no one cares. That was the motivation. And the action was a constitutional right. He wasn't around here slapping folks or pulling guns on people or ranting and raving at the facility or at the games. None of that stuff. That was the action. And eventually, very soon after, he realized that he stuck his foot in his mouth. So he came back and he said, "I apologize for misspeaking my true sentiments. To clarify, I support Colin's motivation. It's his method of action I take exception to." Not really that much better to me. That's not really much better. So now a bunch of months later, for whatever reason, and he may have genuinely changed his mind, but I find that in my experience with human beings, that's rarely the case, unless, of course, there is some sort of benefit to them. Like, people change not because just osmosis. Like, no one just stopped smoking crack because, oh, you know what, I'm tired of this great feeling this crack is giving me. No, people stop smoking crack because the term is usually rock bottom. You know what I mean? Yeah, people don't just change because they want to. I was talking about it on Wednesday, right, with Donald Trump. Like, he ain't going to get no better at anything. Why? Because he get to do what he want to do and win and get rewarded for it. But in Jim Harbaugh's case, there is a reason for him to change his way of thinking. He's a college football coach at a very competitive school. And the most competitive schools, they field a bunch of Negroes from a bunch of sketchy and difficult backgrounds who have probably experienced being drugged on the ground, kicked and punched, harassed by the police for no damn reason. So you can't walk up in that kid's mama house talking about some Colin Kaepernick's an idiot. He's disrespectful. I don't respect his motivation or his action. You can't walk up in somebody's house like that, because the first thing Urban Meyer going to do right behind your ass is be like, you know who I love? And I wish I would have recruited him, Colin Kaepernick. He seems to be a stand-up young man who really understands and has principles and conviction. Yeah, it's all a game, man. And the way I'm built with my trust issues, yeah, I believe it when I see it. Like, I'm gonna believe the thing that you say first to me, like your first mind, because usually, you know, people have their way of changing what they've said after they realize how it's going to affect them negatively. So yeah, I don't believe Jim Harbaugh. I think he's as douchey a human being as he was in August when he made the original statements. I don't respect anything about what he's doing. All right, my man. All right, go tell that to Jamal's mom. You know what I mean? When you take your black ass to Flint, you know what I mean, where she can't get clean water, but yet the police still treating people like crap, and you want her son to come play for you. Go tell that to her that you don't give a damn about what Colin Kaepernick's talking about and what he's trying to do. D-bag. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get up out of here in a couple minutes. Good. I mean, I got a lot of stuff to talk about still, but whatever. Update on the Will Smith situation. Your man that was killed in New Orleans, former New Orleans Saints player. His killer. I don't have the kid's name right here. Sorry, but he gets 25. I put 25 mil. He didn't get 25 mil. He get 25 years for that. It was either, what was it, second degree murder or manslaughter, whatever it was that they clipped him on. He getting 25 years for that. He's like 28 years old, so he's looking at like 50, whatever that is, almost 60 years old before he gets out of jail. I mean, unless he gets some like early parole type situation, because I don't think it's 25 without parole. So he may get an opportunity for some early release type situation, but still, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like another black dude whose life was just changed in a blink of an eye. You know what I'm saying? Like one thing just pinballs into or dominoes into another thing, and next thing you know, one dude's dead and another dude, both who have sons that somebody's gonna have to raise now. You know, the other dude's in jail for 25 years. Cardell Hayes, I knew I have no those had me. Appreciate it, homie. Yeah, Cardell Hayes, 25 years, man. I mentioned on Monday or Wednesday, I believe, that he's actually suing the estate of Will Smith. And from what I read, it's like legally, I think he has a case, man, because it's like one of those causation type things that the end result would have never happened had homeboy not hit his car and tried to run. You know, like did the hit and run thing that initiated the whole sequence of events that ended up in his death. So, you know, the wifey still pissed off. She's saying 25 years, only 25 years. And I'm like, damn, Ma, what you wanted? My man, you wanted me to die? And I don't, full disclosure, I don't care. I think that's how the death penalty should work anyway. Like, people ask me how I feel about the death penalty. I don't know how I feel about it. Nothing's happened to one of my loved ones. You know what I mean? Like, I can say anything right now. Like, it's barbaric. Like, I do have one feeling about the death penalty, though. Like, I don't think you get to brutalize my family member or someone that I love, and then your punishment is to get put to sleep and never woken up. Because that's essentially what the death penalty is. They give you a shot that puts you to sleep, and then another one that stops your heart. Yeah, I'm good. Hell no. That, you know what I mean? Like, I could see why. I saw a story one day. This white lady, she was crying and pleading with the judge not to put this dude to death, who rang her doorbell one day, like on some random stuff, rang the doorbell and just start carving her daddy up. Well, I'm going to say, you know what I'm saying, for no reason, but, you know, I look at stuff like that and I always think like molestation and stuff like that. Because I would always tell people, like, man, if something like that had ever happened to me as a kid, you know, it would be the same type of story. You wouldn't know why I killed this dude. I think I was talking about Eddie Long, the preacher. Like, you just be like, man, it's a damn shame what Mike did to that damn preacher boy. And I wouldn't tell nobody why I did it. It would just seem random. So, I mean, in this kid's case, it seemed random. He just showed up at the door and started, like, stabbing the hell out this dude. And they was going to give him the death penalty. And this little white girl was like, no, don't put him to death. And she was, like, claiming, like, religion and all this kind of stuff. I don't believe in that. But, like, essentially, like, I don't want you to do my family member like that, then just, like, you know, get put to sleep. You need to go see the Booty Warrior and get punished and suffer, cuz. Like, that's the type of stuff I'm on. Or if we doing, like, real death penalty, like, okay, he should die the same way that he killed the person. People be talking about, that's inhumane. Yeah, nobody wouldn't think about that when homeboy was doing what he was doing or homegirl was doing what she was doing. Nah, ain't no humane. If you're going to do it, do it. I mean, that whole thing is flawed, too, by the way. No, I don't let that escape me, that how disproportionately it's people like me who end up getting the chair or the lethal injection. And then years later, it'd be like, oh, by the way, the DNA, golly, Jamal didn't do it. Well, Jamal's gone now. So that's probably the only objection I would have with the death penalty. That is, it's administered so liberally to people. Maybe liberally is not the word I mean. It's administered so frequently to people who look like me, and a lot of times wrongfully so, that I kind of got to be like, I can't really rock with it. Last thing real quick in the last couple minutes of the show, I'll tell you guys what's going on real quick with the NFL and the DEA. Like, this is something like, I don't know how this, well, I do know how, because many of the sports news outlets are in bed with with the NFL. So, you know, anything that makes the league look bad, they're not going to report on it. But they in some real deep doo-doo when it comes to this stuff with these painkillers and these pills and stuff. They already going through a lawsuit. They got former players suing them for getting them hooked on, like, Vicodin and oxycodone, and, you know, giving them these Teradol shots and all this kind of thing that's ruining people's, like, insides and their guts and their livers and stuff. And apparently, based on what the DEA is saying, they told these cats in 2011, man, stop effing around with these painkillers, man. Stop doing this. It was February 2011 to be exact. Doctors and athletic trainers from the NFL teams were gathered in Indianapolis in a hotel room or whatever, and they were put under scrutiny by this dude named Joseph T. God, what does it say? Rannazzisi? Yeah, Rannazzisi. 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 When put into this room, they were under scrutiny for the handling of prescription drugs. The league had invited the Drug Enforcement Administration and an official name, the guy I just mentioned. He was armed with more than 80 slides of charts, photographs, and bullet points about federal laws that govern how doctors can medicate professional football players suffering from pain and injuries. The NFL basically threw up two middle fingers to him, like, F you, we're the NFL, we do what we want to. So while he's giving his slide presentation, these cats are getting all defensive, they're getting all angry, they start booing my man. He was lecturing them on their duties and responsibilities in the context of the opioid epidemic, which, of course, now is an epidemic because Sally Mae and Julie and Beth, they're hooked on the stuff. When it was like, you know, Shaquan and Waniqua, yeah, ain't nobody care. I mean, but that's America for you. As soon as it starts hitting white people, oh my God, we've got a problem on our hands. Really? Just now? Like right now, we got a problem with the opioids and whatnot? My man, good. good. Glad you came. So anyway, the doctors felt they were being compared to pill pushers, which, you ask some of these NFL guys, that's what they are. They're pill pushers. They said, quote, he was treating everyone like a criminal. That's what one doctor said. After the meeting ended, the doctors returned to their teams and continued administering powerful painkillers and anti-inflammatories in ways that often ran counter to federal guidelines. It would be 4 years until the NFL fully instituted a rule and practices that address the DEA's concern over the way teams travel with their pain medications, store them at the practice facilities, and administer them on the road, because apparently just not the doctors were giving away these painkillers. It was like anybody. Trainers. I've heard stories of them having like bowls, like candy bowls with like oxys in them. One cat got pulled over. Football player got pulled over. He had like 20 oxys on him. Where you get them from? From his job. You know what I mean? Apparently they were failing to maintain proper records and allowing non-licensed personnel, like I mentioned, trainers, to pass out the drugs and the medication. In one calendar year, based on some documents that have come out with this lawsuit, they prescribed 5,777 doses of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, in English, drugs, and 2,213 doses of controlled medications to its players. This is the stuff that we don't see on Sunday. How hopped up on everything. They got the Future song playing, Molly Percocet. Is that how it go? Molly Percocet. The NFL players got all the goods. This one dude that works for Jerry Jones, this is the most gangster thing ever. This is how you know the NFL is a Gestapo, because it's like the mob. Dude that works for the Cowboys, their doctor, they were trying to tell him that the laws say that you can't just be taking, medications over, you can't just be flying with these things, because there's certain places that you're not even licensed to practice on. That's the law. This dude tells this DEA dude, like, look, man, my boss knows a bunch of people in Congress. We about to get these laws changed. And he wasn't BSing either. This dude named, where is it? One of these congressmen from Texas. He's put forth a bill like 3 separate times in 2011, 2015, and another one trying to get this thing changed where these doctors can do what the hell they want to with these drugs, because it's that important for these players to not feel no pain on the football field. Oh man, like it make you feel kind of grimy, man. Because like I'm like anybody else, I love football. I love watching football, man. You know what I mean? I'm familiar with the pain it causes. I mean, it still causes me pain to this day. But I can't say that I necessarily care, and I know most of you don't care. But I'm just a dude that's gonna show you how the hot dog is made. It ain't just this nice, great thing you put on the grill and put some ketchup and mustard on it, or I don't know. Some people just put mustard. Nah, it's got a bunch of crap in it, like, what I'm saying, teeth and bone and ground up hooves and nose and ear. Yeah, it's all up in your hot dog. And same thing with the NFL. It's drug trafficking and interstate movement of dope and pill popping, and they dealing the oxys and the Vicodins and everything else. Toradol, shooting cats up. Yeah, man. Meanwhile, smoke a joint if you want to. Your ass will be out the league for a year. You smoke one damn joint, we kicking your black ass out of here. Just ask Josh Gordon, suckers. Anyway, man, that's going to do it. Oh, man, halftime's over. I done missed a whole half of... Man, I can't go look at this crap. I can't watch this game on DVR. I just have to pick it up where it is. Where's the outro music? Where are you? There you go. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the One Mic with Big Mike show here on a Friday. And all week, I'm working on somebody for Monday. Working on somebody special for Monday, too. So hopefully it comes through for the kid. If not, you just got me, but then you got me and Alex Kabtoff on Wednesday getting ready for the draft on Thursday. And then Friday, after round 1 is over, the homie Ben Troop is going to join me. We're going to wrap things up. Or we're going to figure out what the hell went on with the draft, who went somewhere that he probably shouldn't have went, who went too early, who went too late, all those things, and we'll talk about it on Friday. Until then, make sure you guys, once again, are following the kid on Twitter and Instagram, liking my Facebook page. They all have the same handle, the number 1, MICWITHBIGMIKE. Give yourself a chance to win one of these Big Mike's brim. You know what else too happened today? I went to the closet today to grab a hat and found out there's like a couple more brand new ones up there that have never been worn. So we may do something. If the Hawks can pull something together, we might do something else with the ones that I have with it. I got a couple Braves ones too, so I'll do something with them. You can also go to the website, go to the contact page, send me something from there with Big Mike's brims in the body for Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and all that. Just send me a DM. Hashtag Big Mike's Brims, BIGMIKESBRIMS. And I'll pick a name during the Hawks game on, Saturday? And we'll see if we can make something happen for you. The show can be heard on demand, Spreaker.com, the Spreaker app, TuneIn, OneMic.com, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and YouTube. So make sure you go check it out, subscribe, comment, do all those things. And until Monday, you guys be safe. Take care of yourself. Enjoy this nice spring weather if you're down here in the A or wherever you at. And we'll come back on Monday and do it all again. Remember, all you need is one mic.